In this video, we're going to look at something so interesting. There is a lot to learn.
Okay.
What are we looking at before you even introduce yourself? What are we going to look at?
So we are going to make the most commonest food that people make mistakes on. And I think the commonest is, we love Rolexes so much. I love Rolex. But I think, I'm not judging, I'm not a judge of chapatis, but I think we should introduce the world to chapati the Nubian way. That was Nubian make chapati. Yes.
Wow, wow. There is a great history behind Nubian society.
Yes.
There's a lot. All right, let us dive into the video and see how this is going to go. We're going to look at chapati. Also later, we're going to do pilau.
Yeah, we'll do pilau. And then I had promised people earlier on that we're going to do okra. So today we're going to do the Nubian okra sauce. It's called Mulabia.
Mulabia.
Yes.
Which video is that? The pilau or is going to be the chapati?
So we'll do chapati and bamia. And,
All right, so let us dive into this and see how this is going to go down. As you watch, share your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know how you have found this video and what else can we do. I can't wait.
Yeah. So yeah, we can start off by saying hi, people. My name is Naima Isa Sebi. I have been here before with Nicholas, and he's been bugging me. He wants to eat more food. I think.
Yeah.
Was the gurusa nice?
I can still get that same taste.
Okay, so I hope this test today is going to kind of make you forget the other test. So to our audience, I'm a Nubian by tribe. And just like the Nubian people, we are not commonly known, and I think this is an opportunity for the world and Uganda and Nicholas to kind of understand the Nubian culture, the way we appreciate and acknowledge our food, and just to introduce our food to the whole world and for us to be known. So I can't wait
Do you
for
have
people
a
to learn.
sister?
I have sisters.
Let us dive into the video.
Okay, we are going to start with making chapati. The Nubian way. So chapati usually people do make, it's a common mistake because people tend to make chapati and it is gummy or when it's hard, when it gets cold. But the difference with the Nubian chapati, the way we make our chapati is the same way as the Swahili people do. So the way we make a chapati, even if it sleeps overnight, the chapati will stay soft. So I'm just going to share with you our Nubian recipe or Nubian ways of making chapati so that people can learn how to make chapati and that they can enjoy eating chapati that are soft and delicious. So with our chapati, there are just three main ingredients that Nubians use for making chapati. We use the chapati flour, which is the wheat flour, salt, and cooking oil, period. Do not spice it, don't add garlic, don't add carrots. That is not chapati, that is something else. So with those three ingredients, we are going to show you how the Nubian chapati is made. To start off, we will start with adding our cooking flour into a big pan. For this video, I'm making 3 kilograms of chapati. Don't ask me how Nicholas and I are going to finish all that chapati. That is history for another day. So we'll use 3 kilograms of chapati. Being a Nubian, when we are growing up, our mothers making chapatis do not tell us the measurements. We learn from them. We watch and estimate, and our guess always is right. So we use our ancestors to tell us the measurements. So for the 3 kilograms of chapati, I'm going to put salt. Don't ask me how much salt I do measure with my eyes, so I don't know. We'll do salt and then we'll drizzle cooking oil onto the chapati flour. Mix the ingredients together and make sure that it's all well distributed. And when that is done and you're sure that it is well distributed into the flour, we are going to add water. So this is where the complication comes. Don't ask me what kind of water do we use. Honestly, I don't know. It's guesswork for me. But today, being that it's raining outside and it's kind of cold, I'm not going to use refrigerated water. I also use that. So I'm going to use room temperature water, just tap water, and add it into the chapati. For other people, they like to add the salt into the water, but me, I'm not adding any salt into the water. I'm adding it directly to the flour. So add water, mix the dough, start with the center as you work yourself throughout the outside because you don't want particles to form. So when you start from the center, you're kind of kneading it and ensuring that all the flour is dissolving in a circular way into the dough that you're making. So knead it until it is hard, not too sticky. When it is hard and ready and you're sure that this is the consistency that you want, you're going to add oil on top of it, drizzle oil on top of the dough, continue kneading so that the oil is well distributed. And then when you're done, we are going to seal the dough with cooking oil And the reason for this is to kind of trap the moisture into that dough so that air does not escape, and you want it to raise so well. Thereafter, you will cover your chapati, put it in a warm area, and allow it to rest. The rest allows the dough to kind of activate itself and raise so that the chapati is as soft as you want. So cover it and place it, then let it rest for a period between 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on the time you have for making the chapati. When it has already raised, then we will start making our chapati balls, and then also show you the process on how that is made. So yeah, that is it. So we've covered our chapati and we're going to let it rest as we do other things. Our dough has rested for, this is 1 hour basically, and after 1 hour, this is how it looks like, and this is how soft we expect your chapati to be. That soft and stretchy. So if it is breaking, then it hasn't rested enough to stretch, and you can see it has raised. These show that the bubbles that have been trapped, the chapati has raised so well. So we are going to start making the balls, and this is where we do it differently from the rest of the chapatis. So we'll start with cutting a huge piece of chapati dough, and we make it into a ball, a very huge ball. So there are different procedures of doing this. There are those who prefer doing small balls, but if you don't have time, you can do it the way I'm doing it, which is the faster way. So we roll it out. So after rolling out the chapati, we're going to smear oil on top of it. You can use whatever you use, but you know, I am fancy like that. So I have an applicator where I will put my cooking oil, because I want an even distribution to the dough. I know many people are going to ask me, where can we get that or that? Yeah, I got this from Chinatown. It's not that I'm advertising for Chinatown, but yeah, you can get anything you want. So this is my applicator, and I'm going to apply my cooking oil on the chapati, on this huge dough that I've rolled out. So yeah, we apply the oil on the chapati dough like that, the fat mama chapati. Yeah, this fat mama chapati. So we will apply oil on it. Now this method is the fastest method if like you have a lot of chapatis that you're making. Thereafter, we are going to roll it out. Roll it like that. Going to roll out our chapati like that. After we've rolled out our chapati, we are going to cut it into the sizes that we want. These balls, these are chapati balls. So this is a method I use when I'm making many chapatis and I don't have time. Like time is of the essence. I need to beat time. It's the method I use to roll out the chapatis. We do it. By we, I mean the Nubian people, and I think even the Swahili people do chapati like this. And so from here, we put them in our sinia. Now for sinia, this is one thing every chapati, every Nubian girl has a sinia in her home. So whoever says that they don't have it, they are lying. And yeah, this is how the balls are made, so very fast. Yeah, and it is layered already with cooking oil, and it's going to make this soft. We're going to let this rest for like 15 minutes before we start cooking, and also finish with the rest of the dough to make sure that we have the enough chapatis that we need for cooking.
In case someone wants to reach out to you, do you offer catering service? Because people watching, I think some of them are so amazed by the way you do your things.
Yeah.
Step by step, so careful. Please, dive us more into this.
Yeah, so I do have a catering company. It is called Isa House of Foods. And so we do catering, like executive catering, and then if you want like a big number of people catering. So the smallest number we start with is 10 people. The biggest number we have catered is 3,800 people.
Wow.
So yeah, we are a Kogo in this.
That was a wedding.
Yeah, it was a wedding. It was a huge wedding. We cooked for almost 8 hours. But yeah, it was challenging, but a lot to learn from it. And so, yeah, that is the biggest capacity of people I have catered for. But I know right now I have the capacity of catering to even 5,000 people. My catering is just, we started it as a way of sharing the food we know it as Nubian people. Because we've been to Mikolo and the food is not really what it is that you want. And so my mom and I were like, you know what, let's start something and just put the Nubian way of cooking, and that's what our catering services does. So you can place orders.
I love
from
it.
Chapati
I'm even
to
getting
food.
goosebumps.
And the other beautiful thing we do is I employ Nubian women who are mostly housewives to bring their skills, and then somehow I do teach them a little bit of new recipes that we do incorporate, and that way they earn income.
Okay.
And so I support them to earn income in that way, and also, give people a taste of the Nubian delicacy.
So do you also welcome outsiders who would love to learn?
I also do cooking lessons.
There's a lot.
I also do cooking lessons for
a full package.
For women who want to learn how to improve the food they feed their families, or men, depending on what you want. So yeah, I do all that.
Okay, I'm going to drop your number in the description box of this video.
Definitely.
But share it out, because some find it hard to get it, but please share the business number.
It's 256-774-386323. You call me, make an appointment for a cooking lesson, or if you want to make orders of the food that I'm going to make. Yeah, we do all that.
Please reach out. I know you're not going to be disappointed. You have seen the first video. If you missed it, it's going to be in the description box or on the screen somewhere. You will see something different, something we would also love your people to try out. So what is coming in next? So
as we let our chapati rest, you told me you had some questions about the pilau I'm going to make. So you can ask me the questions. No. That will come in when you're making that second video. Okay, so we're also going to make okra. I know okra is a big deal for women, but for Nubian people, that is our traditional food. So I'm going to make okra sauce. In Kinubi, nagi nadi mulabia tuwan. So bamia is in different varieties.
But let's continue.
Mulabia, mula means sauce. Then bamia is okra. So I'm going to do mulabia tuwal. So okra is in different sizes and shapes. There's the long okra, which is common, and this kind of okra. So this is called bamia tuwal, because tuwal means something that is long. So the long bamia. This is the commonest bamia that we eat. Though in homes we do have the fat. There are those fat purple ones. Yeah, but this is a delicacy. I love this, the way it smells, the way it tastes. So you said you've never tasted okra? No, I've ever Nigerian okra. So you're going to test the Nubian okra? I want to test it and see the difference. Perfect. I find it so hard, but this time, I'm just excited. Trust me, you will love it. As you watch this video, please tell us, how do you make your chapatis? Write your recipe in the comment section, because we also want to learn from you. But definitely, as you learn from us. Yes. All right, I think let us go to the next step. Yeah, so now we're going to make our chapatis. Remember, I had told you in a Nubian home, you must have 3 sasi. You know what sasi is? The frying pan. Yeah, I was going to say the frying pan. Frying pan. So in a Nubian home, typically, as a woman, you're supposed to have 3 sasis. One is for chapati, one is for gurusa, and the other one is for kisra. So today we're using the second of my sasis. The gurusa one was quite relatively big. And so for the chapati one is thicker and not relatively big. The one for kisra is in a square form. Yeah, which probably we'll use next time. But today we're going to make... I have so many questions for this, but let us be discussing as we go into the cooking, the recipe. So this is my chapati sasi. See how thick it is? Yeah, a good sasi makes a good chapati. So now that our chapati has rested, we are going to roll it out and start making the real chapati. So yeah, now the layers we have made in the oil is what is going to layer our chapatis and make them soft. The secret in soft chapatis is layering it with cooking oil. So as we make our chapati, we are going to layer our tabaga.
Tabaga.
The tabaga. Yeah, remember those who watched this video before, we said we layer our dry food. As Nubian people, we put it in a tabaga. That is where we keep our food, just to retain the aroma. So we layer it with a paper towel.
So other people use newspapers?
Yeah, other people use
dangerous?
newspapers. It's not dangerous. I've grown up, my mom didn't use paper towels growing up. She used to use newspapers, and I'm still alive.
Some people used to complain because of the ink from those newspapers.
Yeah, some people used to, but growing up for us, it was not a big deal. And I'm not defending ignorance, but they say it is dangerous. The ink is dangerous, so it is safer you use a paper towel. Other people use kavera. Kavera is not the best to use. Why? Because the chapati will sweat in the kavera, and so it will be soggy. I don't want to feed people with soggy chapati. So you need something dry that allows the chapati to breathe.
How does this chapati differ from different societies, or according to different societies?
Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning. In the beginning, it is said that chapati originated from India.
India?
Yes. And I think we can trace the origin of chapati from India, and probably it spread throughout the whole of Asia, because Asians have bread that kind of similar to chapati. Now, how did it make its way to the East African region? When Indian coolies, I think, came to Uganda, it was one of their staple food, and so where they settled, in the areas they settled, interacting with the locals, they kind of learned the food chapati from them.
Okay.
So if you look at that, then you look at the Swahili people in this country. The Swahilis who are mainly in Busoga, where most of the Indian coolies settled.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk about Busoga. They say chapati started from Busoga.
No, the Indians who settled in Busoga and intermarried, and so that kind of group of people are the Swahili, or people say the Bachotara.
Hey.
They also learned it from them. And so if I'm to copy or say that who are the authentic people that know how to make chapati the way it should be, those are the Swahili people.
Swahili people.
They kind of retain that. And so the Swahili people, yeah, those, and also, so with the Nubian people, we also learned it from the Swahili people, the Arabs, the Indians that we interacted with. And so it is part of our staple food. Because on a weekend, I remember growing up, we would smell the chapati in the house and just know today mom is in a good mood. She's making for us chapati. And so that's where it originated from. It did not come from Busoga per se, but from the Swahili people and the Indian coolies who settled in Busoga. So chapati came from there.
You know, the other side of this channel, or the beauty side of this channel, is not only about us like showing the food, eating it, but there's also history behind it. We share history. But thank you so much. Oh, I'm learning something. I'm also learning. Let us know in the comment section if you're learning something. So let me bring you closer and see what is happening right here.
So when you're cooking a chapati, it has to make these bubbles. These bubbles. That shows your chapati has cooked in the inside. If it does not make these bubbles, if it does not raise like this when you're cooking it, then it is not ready. It is raw. And that makes it gummy and hard when you're eating it. So for your chapati to be cooked, that has to form. So what we do is you first roast one side of it, and then you turn and roast the other side. And the same has to happen, so it also has to raise and make the bubbles. So here I'm using cowboy. That's the fat I use for cooking my chapati. Why cowboy? Because it is not very greasy, it's not very oily, and it's just what I was raised cooking. And yeah, so either use cowboy or kimbo, but I prefer cowboy to kimbo because it has a lot of fortified It has a lot of vitamins. And yeah, we don't want to eat something that is just plain without vitamins. So you will smear your cooking oil at the top of the chapati, flip it, let it cook. Make sure the sides of the chapati also cooks. So you have to put the oil and then you press it on the pan. This pressing allows the chapati to kind of absorb the oil and fry it the way it should. So as you do that, you also put a little bit of oil at the top of the chapati and smear it like that. We don't want it to be too oily. So your chapati has to be golden brown, like that. And then when you're sure it has turned the golden brown, you flip it and do the same to the other side. Your heat has to be on medium. I prefer cooking my chapati on gas because I get the same uniform color of chapati from the first chapati to the last chapati. But if you can do the same and control your chapati on sigiri, it is okay. So when it's done, see the layers? They are there, the chapati, and it will be soft. You put it aside.
So I'm given a chapati to test.
So that is a hot chapati, flaky and soft.
Wow.
Flaky on the inside and soft. You can show the people how flaky that is.
Let me come closer. Just look at this. Mulabia.
Well cooked in the inside and outside. Yes, that is how chapati has to look like.
Wow. So I've seen so many people adding colors to chapatis.
Yes.
Do you advise it? Is it part of the culture or just something to flavor the chapati up?
Well, as Naima, I prefer in respecting people's culture and preserving it the way it is. So I don't think the Indian people or the Swahili people or the Nubian people that we learned this chapati from are adding colors. So I don't want to do cultural appropriation and adding colors. And if I'm going to use someone's culture and appreciate it, I always prefer appreciating it the way it is. Wow. So for chapati being salt, water, and flour, I don't appreciate, personally, I would not add any color or flavor it. I want to retain that culture and preserve it the way it is. So yeah, that's one of the things we Nubian people do. The way it is the way we do it, and that is how we have managed to preserve our culture. And at the same time, we appreciate to preserve people's culture the way it is without appropriating or misappropriating it in any way or any form.
Wow.
Yes, I just like that authentic, traditional way of doing things. Yes.
Hope as you watch, you're learning something. You're not just taking the recipe, but learning something different.
The only way you can respect people's culture is retaining it the way it is. Do not modify it or do it, and you will lose the culture as you keep modifying. And you see, one of the things they say, we are one of the tribes that have maintained our culture for centuries, and it's because we have not tried to modify or change it in any other way. Yes.
How open is the intermarriages between Nubians?
We are intermarried, by the way. It's fun enough. So many Nubian men have married outside the Nubian community, and so many Nubian girls have been married outside the Nubian community. Equally, so many have stuck within the Nubian community. So, like I had said earlier, with the Nubian people, for as long as you're Muslim, for us that is what is important. Are you a Muslim? Yes, you can marry their daughter or get married.
So if you're not...
If you're not a Muslim, there's a limitation. They do not, like I said, we adopted Islam. Like we are fully Islamic, 99%. And so if you're a Muslim, it doesn't matter where you're from. And it's the preference of the girl. If she brings, whether you're from you're American, you're Canadian, Australian, Nigerian, it doesn't matter. What is important is you're Muslim. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
And so we are open in as far as Islam is concerned. Yes.
I was about to ask about the dowry side, but...
Our dowry? Do we have dowry? No. What is requested for is mali mama and mali baba, what is due to the mother and what is due to the father. And usually it is in cash form. Usually what we'll ask for during marriage is mahar. Mahar is the gift given to the girl. So she determines how much she is worth. But usually it is gold. Because why? It appreciates value. So for the girls, they'll ask for gold, what they are worth. So you ask for what you're worth as a girl. If you say you're worth 5,000, that's up to you. Some can ask millions. Others ask gold. Why gold? It's because it has something of value that appreciates. So for us, what is quite important is the mahar, or people call it mahari, the dower for the girl. And then there's money that you're supposed to give the mother of the bride. Why the mother of the bride? This is the money, you know, with Nubian people. Feteba tulangirira that we came with kavera. No. When we get married, we come with a full house furnished. So that money you give the mother of the bride is what is used to furnish your home. So if I'm getting married, I come with the whole sitting room, the whole bedroom, the whole kitchen, the whole bathroom, everything I'll need in that marriage.
Please say that again.
Yes. If I'm getting married as a woman, I come with everything that I'm supposed to use in my marriage. From the needle I used to sew, to the bathroom equipments, to the sitting room, to the bedroom, to the kitchen, appliances, everything. I come with that. We don't only come with the one suitcase. Yeah. That is the biggest, you know, our biggest flaw, something that we are proud about.
I'm trying to digest all this
yes.
at once. Wow.
So yeah, that's our culture.
So these are some of the things I always talk about. We learn from different societies. We learn. You see that Nubians have been part of Ugandans, or part of Uganda.
Since 1880 something, yeah, in the 1800s.
And we have got so many, like, we have shared a lot between us.
Definitely.
Wow, wow. Okay, let me take you back to what we are making here, but I know you're getting something more than what we are doing here. But thank you so much for being part of Eating the African. In case you want to reach out for catering services, I'm going to drop her number in my description box, or even on the screen right now as you watch this video. Reach out, order something.
And enjoy the Nubian food.
Yeah, you have a wedding, any kind of function, you do it.
We do from just normal dinners when you want to host your friends over. We do from that, we do graduations, we do birthdays, we do anniversaries, we do corporate events, we do weddings, we do kwanjula, we do even just like award events or anything that needs food. Yeah, you just let me know and we will be there.
Wow.
And we'll give you the best. And the beauty with us is we don't do the generic food. You customize what you want and we'll give it to you.
Wow.
Yes.
You need to try this. You should try them.
So how is the chapati? Is it anything you've eaten before?
No.
That's different.
You know, we eat these chapatis which are full of so many ingredients, but the taste can't reach this.
Sometimes simple is enough. It's more than enough. When you try to overspice and complicate, you lose the authenticity of the taste of the food.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were still talking about marriage. There is that detail we almost missed out.
Which one?
You said the lady comes in with all the stuff in the house.
Okay, so let me give you a clear picture of what a Nubian wedding looks like. So when we get married, a Nubian girl, traditionally, you as a girl, you're supposed to build your husband. And building your husband comes from the day you're married. So usually after your nikah ceremony, after the reception, and you go to your husband's home, you're given a period of 7 days of your honeymoon. And in those 7 days, you're not expected to even cook for that man for those 7 days. It's for you and your husband to get to know each other. So you go with they're called resi. Resi means like a matron or your caretaker. So anything to do with cooking food for your man and his family and all that, it is her who does it for those 7 days. So after 7 days, the bride, there is a ceremony that is done where the bride now officially comes out of her bedroom or her honeymoon chambers, and she officially, on that 7th day, she cooks. She proves to the family that she is worthy of being a woman that can nourish the family and cook for the family. So that is the day her and her sengas, her aunties, her hours. Sengas are called awa in our culture. Awa. A-W. Awa. Yeah. So her and her hours will prepare and cook for the family of the husband. And then her family then will bring the luggage that she has been ushered in that family with from her family. So it depends on how financially, the financial mass of that family. So for some, they come with everything in that house. However big your house is, they will fill up that house with furniture, merchandise, appliances, equipment. They will do that. So for those who are not able to, it also depends on how much money you as the husband gave to the mother.
So what happens to the things which were found in the house? So what is found in the house, on that 7th day, there is a ceremony of where the bride sweeps the house. So as she's sweeping the house, everything that she found in that house that belonged to you as the man before she came is swept out. So everything is removed. As she starts sweeping, if she's sweeping in the bedroom, everything in that bedroom goes. If she's in the kitchen, everything in that kitchen goes, because she's bringing in new things. And the cultural symbolization of this is, if you had girlfriends before her, all these things are stained by the presence of those girlfriends. So when she's bringing new equipment in that home, it is a symbolization of a fresh start, a clean slate, a new home for her and you. And that is how you start building your home together. Wow.
Yes.
I know now some men are being tempted to become Muslims so that they can marry.
And get the things.
Yes, yes. But what happens in case there's a misunderstanding, divorce, or what?
So happens? In case there's a divorce and you want her out of your life, she will bring the list of the things she brought with you. So even if a cup broke during that marriage and you don't want her, you have to replace that cup. So she has to go with her things, and she can start her own life with her things, since you don't want her anymore. And she'll leave the house clean as she swept it in the beginning, so that whoever you're bringing in can bring things to do with her. She doesn't want to leave her trace behind in that home. Wow. She allows you to start on a clean slate. And she carries everything with her. Yes. So that means, for most marriages, they do last. They do stay in that marriages, because misunderstandings should not be the end of the marriage. But when it comes to beyond repair, then just let her go, and let her go with her things. And she'll be welcomed back home. Wow. Prepared for another marriage, yes.
Wow. Now, if you're watching this video, tell us, say something about this. What happens in your culture? What happens in your society? What happens in your families? We also need to learn from you. I'm left speechless because of what has been shared.
Why? Because we come with things?
You don't want to do. Why don't you leave the things behind?
I found you with nothing, so I'll leave you with nothing. Yeah, that is how it is.
Wow.
My property is my property. It is ours when I'm with you. When you're tired of me, I take back what's mine.
Wow.
Yes.
So this is Eating the African Way. Subscribe, like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section. Be part of us, be part of our family as we dive into the culture, food and culture, people, traditions, all that. Oh God. There's beyond.
Yeah, so our culture is quite unique and interesting. And we are happy with the way it is.
So some men I'm sure they are now planning.
But, don't plan.
But as you plan, just know.
Yeah, we also have complications. So yeah, don't think we are perfect culture. Every culture has flaws. Yes. You can see how soft it is. So usually the top layer is brought to the middle to allow it to soften. So that is how the chapati looks like. Not yellow, not green, but that nice brown color. That is what makes chapati for us in the Nubian community. And if you want to know how soft it is, you can easily roll it without breaking. And that is how Nubian chapatis are made. So we're going to do mulabia.
Mulabia.
Yes. Mula is a sauce over inva in Uganda. So inva ze bamia, mulabia. We said the bamia we're going to use is bamia tuwal. These ones, the green long okra. And just to let people know, this is like a staple for Nubian people.
Young people?
For Nubian
Yeah,
people.
Nubian people.
So instead of drinking okra, Nubian girls and women eat this at least 3 times in a week. So it's like something you eat 3 times in a week. So since we were born, we've been eating okra, and yeah,
So
you know what that means.
in the Central,
Yes.
they drink it for certain reasons, which we're not going to talk about here.
Definitely.
So for our stew, what are we going to use?
So this mulabia, we are going to use it with beef.
Beef.
With beef. I know people might be wondering, it's slimy, how do you eat it and all that? Like you've been telling me, I don't like the taste of okra. Trust me. We reduce on that too much sliminess with a little bit of rock salt
Rock
over
salt.
magadi. So we do a pinch.
Echisula.
Echsula, yeah. Just
Okay.
a pinch of it in the sauce. And everything comes down, and then you get to enjoy the benefits of it without that too much sliminess.
Yeah, so we are going to use beef.
So we're going to use beef, yes.
In case you don't have beef, what are the substitutes?
Oh, okay. The substitutes, others use it with dry fish. You can use dry fish of your choice. Other people use even mukene.
Mukene.
Yeah, if you want it with mukene,
Omena.
obenkeje, omena, or daga.
What is daga?
It is omena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So daga, omena, mukene, yeah, it's the same. Or daga is the Kiswahili name of it.
Daga.
Omena is the Kiswahili of, I think, Kenya. Yeah, Kenya said omesh, omena. And then in Tanzania, they'll call it daga.
Okay.
Yeah, though daga, some daga is slightly bigger than omena.
So I'm seeing the tomato paste. Also, we have the tomato.
Yeah, so I love tomato paste because it gives you that thickness because it's concentrated tomato. For this tomato paste, I remember I said use bubu, but this specific one was, I think, made in Egypt. Yeah, this one is made in Egypt, if I'm not mistaken.
So she mentioned bubu. Bubu is buy Uganda,
Build Uganda. Yeah, but this particular one, I think, is from Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so when I went to buy the bubu, it had run out, and this is, so this one is 99.9% natural tomato.
Wow.
And this is how it's packaged. Like, the packaging is so beautiful. I'm not advertising for the company, but I just love beautiful packaging. So yeah, and the tomato paste tastes so delicious.
Yes.
And then the tomatoes and large onions. Those who know Nubi people, we use a lot of onions in our stews and curry because the onions are natural thickener for the soup. We don't add flour or what to thicken. We use onions. These are natural thickeners, so just love it thickened with onions. And then we're going to use garlic. Garlic is to add flavor to the food.
Okay.
And then we will garnish with coriander or kotimiri or dania in Kiswahili.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you watch, please learn something. Yeah? Not only a chapati recipe, but also there's this which you can make a side dish.
Yeah, it's a curry. Actually, you can eat this mula with posho. I love it with posho.
Okay.
So many people think posho, you eat posho with beans, but with Nubians, we eat posho with this food.
We have a lot to learn.
So for the women who are listening to me, try this out. You let me know with posho specifically. Okra sauce with posho.
So,
Yeah.
okay, let us dive into this. At the end, we're going to enjoy this.
Yeah, so we'll start with caramelizing our onions, then we do the tomatoes. The bamia will come in later. So let's do the procedure so that people can know this special Nubian dish.
All right, let us dive into this.
We'll start with slicing our onions. So we slice, this is slicing, it's not chopping. So we slice our onions We have used 3 onions, like I said. For us, onions is everything. It even enhances the flavor of the food. And yeah, just taste everything because the onions are there. So use as much onions as you can. For this, we are going to use half a kilogram of meat, and we're using 3 medium-sized onions. If you're going to use large onions, you can use 2, but these are medium-sized onions. So we're using 3 of them. Put our pan, we'll drizzle our oil. And just to let people know, please don't burn the oil. You don't want to kill the fortified vitamins in the cooking oil. And then we'll add our onions. And we'll allow our onions to cook until they become golden brown. And then we'll add meat. So, yeah, just allow it to cook. That's it, as simple as that. Nothing complicated. So add salt in the onions. The reason why we put salt in the onions is to allow the onions to become soft and it dissolves. That is why we add salt first. And then a little bit of water. In the onions. So we see this is like light golden brown for the onions, yeah? And then we're going to add our meat. So this brown color, what gives that beautiful brown color for the soup. It's light brown, not as dark as pilau's brown, but light brown. And so we're going to add our meat into this mixture. Cook the meat until it is ready before we add the other things. So for those who want to know when are you able to tell that the meat is ready, just let the meat cook. So we're going to add water to allow the meat to cook, and the amount of water depends on how tough that meat is. So we're going to let this meat boil, cook until all the water dries up, and then we're only left with the oil and the caramel mixture of the meat. The meat should have been golden brown by then, and then we'll add the other ingredients into the meat. So we just do that and cover it and let it cook. I like peeling my tomatoes. These days I do peel my tomatoes when I'm making curry because my mom was diagnosed with some problems, medical problems, and she's not supposed to eat the peels of the tomato because it will complicate her health. And I thought, okay, I don't need to fast fall sick, so let me start peeling the tomatoes so that, yeah, I can prevent myself from any complications. So for those who want to go healthy, it is always advisable, or it is good for you to peel the tomatoes, or you can blanch them in hot water and the peels come out easily. Yeah, there's nothing specific for me to do this, but it's just for health, being health cautious. And since when I make food, I ensure that my mom is able to eat it. That is why I peel my tomatoes before I cook with them. So for this, we will use 3 tomatoes, and then we'll complement the tomatoes with a tablespoon of tomato paste. And then, yeah, that will be enough, I think, for half a kilogram of meat. But you can also adjust the measurements or the amounts with the amount of meat you're cooking. So as our meat gets ready, yeah, it's boiling. So this meat is very soft, so it is not going to take long to cook. And then we'll add the other ingredients as we go. Now you can really smell the meat with the onion.
So what do we have here?
Just meat and onions.
I love the scent that is coming from here. Can I taste? Am I allowed to taste now?
Yeah. Put your hand and I burn you.
Wow.
So you can taste the sweetness of the tomato and
You
the
know,
beef.
at this stage now,
Eh.
I can't add anything else because the taste is already.
It is not yet, this is the beginning. We have
Wow.
not yet like flavored it. We've not yet put any ingredients,
Wow.
spices.
You know, this is even better than that meat. You eat that spiced meat already. This is better than that. It's already better.
We've not yet get to that better. This is now good. So you will test. I want you to test every step. So like this, if you say it's nice, then you'll test when we put the garlic and the spices and the tomatoes, and then you'll see how the flavor goes elevating to the top.
Wow.
So, yeah. So if you like it at this stage,
this
it's okay.
comes with like being an expert or just giving time to your food?
When we were raised, this is the way of cooking. Like on a Sunday afternoon when mommy is cooking, you are part of it. For every Nubian girl, you're part of this process because food is a way of us showing love to the people we love. So you have to cook this food with love, by the way. You don't just say, when you cook food when you're angry, it will show in the food. So when you're cooking it with all the love, it will reflect from even the way you're cooking, the aroma. Like food can interpret your emotions.
Wow.
Yeah, what most people, it's spiritual. When making food, it's spiritual. Your emotions and feelings in that food is what the people will taste. So if you're putting love and carefulness and care in it,
So
they will taste it in the flavor.
It's more than food.
Yeah, so for us, food is more than just food. It is you interpreting how you feel for the people you're going to feed.
Okay.
Yes. So there's a spiritual connection. Don't ask me how, but yeah, we were raised like that.
But as you watch, learn something from this video. Learn something.
Ooh. Yeah, so
You know, every time I meet you, I learn something. Every time.
you're right.
So, by the time I leave this place, hey,
You're going to learn.
I'm learning.
And by the way, people will be like, so in your culture, it's only women who cook. No. My dad is an amazing chef.
Okay.
My father is an amazing chef. My brothers are great cooks. We were raised in our home, and I know most of the Nubian homes. Now, like we don't have pasheki where like the kitchen belongs to a woman. My sisters, some of my sisters don't love cooking. They know how to cook, but it's not like their forte. But for me, being the eldest girl, I just, this is the way of me showing my love and care for my family. So yeah, I love cooking. It gives me peace. I distress when I'm in the kitchen. It's just my happy place. And yeah.
So for
I
us,
love
with our
cooking.
society, people say if we get a man who knows how to cook, who loves cooking,
Yeah.
it's a miracle.
No, in my family, all the boys can cook. Yes, all the boys can cook.
So you talked about girls being like only getting married to Muslims. How about the men?
So for the men, they can marry either Muslims or non-Muslims.
For men,
Yeah, it's okay. But the challenge comes where your beliefs in religion and way of doing things is quite different. So the marriage might not last. Because if it is to last, you all have to compromise to accommodate your partner.
okay.
So for the men, they're allowed to marry non-Muslims. But for the women, in my culture, it is on rare occasions that rare, like 0.00001% would be marrying a non-Muslim. Well, because initially I had said the Nubian culture is heavily influenced by the Islamic culture.
Wow.
So, yeah, the only things we understand is Islamic way of doing things.
So there's a lot to share. So if you want to see more recipes from our chef, please send some money because we have to start paying her. It's not free anymore.
Not
But
free anymore. I'm going to be charging.
Yeah, but for now, let us go back to what is happening because there is a lot. There is a lot you need to
Yes,
see.
so at this point we can see that our onions have dissolved. There is no trace of onions, and all it has left is this beautiful caramel, golden, beautiful brown. So we're going to now add the garlic and allow the garlic infuse into that meat. And so if you want to pound your garlic, it's okay. Today I'm going to use my garlic press just to add. Yeah, and the garlic, if you want to use garlic, for me the best garlic is this organic garlic, or what they call the local garlic. Garlic or Muganda. Yeah, that one.
Abaganda buchumba chitwala.
So this one we call it kitungulu thawum. Kitungulu thawum. Or basala thawum. In Kinobi.
Katungulu chum.
Yeah, mtakatungulu chum, for us we call it basala thawum. So we use basala thawum here to infuse in the meat. Yeah, so I think that is more than enough. So now we put our garlic. So you can hear the sound of the mixture. It has produced oil after even adding water. So now you can smell the flavor, yeah? And at this point, we put a little bit of curry powder, a little bit of spices. Just to enhance that flavor into the meat and to make it taste like heaven in your mouth. And Nicholas can testify, he is dying behind that camera. The smell and the flavor has elevated. Now that we've added the garlic, I just want you to taste and tell us if the flavor has elevated. They begin to watch. Has the flavor elevated?
Oh God.
So at this point, we're just going to add tomatoes and a little bit of water into the mixture. So we're going to put a tablespoon of tomato paste. Not so much, just a little. And then we will mix all this together and put a little bit of water to allow the tomato to cook. Yeah, and we'll have that beautiful color by the end of the tomato cooking. So we'll cover this and let it cook for some time to allow the tomato to sweat and soften and cook. Thereafter, we will add the other ingredients. So you can see the beautiful color, beautiful red color, even before it has cooked. That is what we want. Yeah, that is the Nubian way of cooking. So we will cover this and allow it to cook. So now we're going to prepare our okra that we're going to add into the mixture. Usually, some people prefer washing the okra when it's already cut. I don't like it cut because the sliminess will be lost into the water. So I just have to wash the top of it before I cut it, so that by the time I cut it, it's clean. So just wash the okra. And the okra you're supposed to use, it's not the very mature okra. It is one that is still soft. We don't want okra that has a lot of fiber in it. The soft, what do I mean by soft? If you break it, it should be that soft without fiber things. So, and then we're going to cut it and prepare it for adding into our mixture.
So the way we cook our foods is greatly influenced by the societies where we grow from. So do you think as societies cook okra the same way Nubians do it?
Definitely not. Different people, okay, it might be the same, like the way I've cooked my beef. Other people definitely eat beef, but they don't cook it the way I cook it, or the way the Nubian people cook it. And the same applies with okra. So you'll find okra is not only eaten by Nubi people. I think okra is one sauce that is eaten all over the world. You find that Mexican have a way they make their okra. Arabs have a way they make their okra. Indians, I've seen the Indian way of making okra, which is so dry, like it's delicious. I've tried cooking it that way. The Swahili people have a way they make their okra that's heavily influenced by the way Arabs make it, and also with the Nubi people, the way we make it is also influenced by the culture we assimilated where we were colonized and all that. So yes, it might be okra soup, okra sauce, okra whatever, but just to appreciate that different people make it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I think different people do it differently. I've seen the way Nigerians make it with snails and all the meat. Yeah, I've seen the way.
Would you try that? With the
I don't eat
snails?
snails. I don't think I'm allowed to eat snails Islamically, my religion, so we don't eat snails. But yeah, I acknowledge that that is how they make it. That is their delicacy, and yeah, it's how they make it. So this is the way we Nubians do it. There's a way I think other people do it, and they're different. So what is just important is you to know that, yeah, this is how it's done in this culture, this is how it's done in this culture, and this is how I should appreciate. If I'm doing it the Nubian way, let me do it the Nubian way. If I'm doing it the Nigerian way, let it be the Nigerian way. If you're doing it like Indians, let it be the Indian. That's the only way we can acknowledge and respect other people's culture and how they make their food.
So have you seen how Ugandans do it?
In Central here?
Yeah, in Central.
I don't think I've seen people in Central cook okra. I've seen people in Central drink okra, which for me is a culture shock. But yeah, with us, we eat it this way. We do not drink it. So I also acknowledge and appreciate and respect that people drink it.
Yes,
I think it has a lot of health benefits. Yeah, for especially women and also men. Men should also be drinking okra, but it's not only for women. Because for us in our culture, this dish is eaten by both men and women. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot.
So after the tomatoes have cooked, this is how I expect your sauce to look like. That beautiful deep red. You see how deep red that is? Yeah. So, Nicholas, I just want you to test when you're behind the camera how we have elevated this flavor. Woohoo! That's the color. So test it and let people know. And then you compare the different levels of flavor.
Let us eat.
Yeah, let us eat. It's not
Let
yet
us
ready. Not yet ready. So after you've cooked your tomatoes and they've dissolved and you have this paste that is left behind, we are going to add the water that we want for our sauce. And then we'll add our okra. We'll add a pinch of rock salt to cut down on the too much sliminess. And then just let it simmer and cook. When it is ready, we will eat it with our chapati. I think, yeah. And then you try. But like I said, I love this with posho, specifically posho, and very hot posho. Yeah, the ugali or luguma. We call it luguma. Mulabia me luguma. So luguma for me is the thing that I eat this sauce with. So we are going to add water for our soup. So that is how our soup looks like. Very beautiful, very tantalizing to the eye. It smells wonderfully and tastes wonderfully. And then we are going to add our bamia. Like that. See how amazing that looks.
Just look at the colors. Oh.
Yeah, so the color blends beautiful, red and the green. Yeah. You know, it's always good to make sure that your food is appetizing to the eye and it should look as good as it tastes. So we're going to let this simmer at a medium heat and then let it cook. When it has boiled, we will add a little bit of rock salt, just a little bit. We don't want it to over surpass the flavor. A little bit to cut down on the sliminess. Yeah, then when it's ready, we will cook. Now we're going to just add a little bit of rock salt, just a pinch of it. Yeah, so you see the bubbles, that is for rock salt. So those bubbles, yeah, the rock salt is activating. So that the bamia softens. Yes. Can you smell the bamia now? I can smell the okra. Yeah, so we're going to let it simmer and cooks so that we are ready for eating. So our food is ready, and Nicholas here is going to give it a try, and just for the audience to see and probably judge whether it is delicious or
So
not.
someone watching this video might or would want to know, what is this?
Oh, so this is a kuta, and the bottom one is a tawaga. These are Nubian artifacts. We use this for covering our food. In the Nubian culture, you do not serve your guests when the food is out in the space, but we cover it with a tawaga and with a kuta, so that it, one, preserves the aroma in the food. When we open this tawaga, the first thing you eat with is the aroma, so you eat with your nose before even with your eyes and your mouth.
So in case someone wants to buy it, own it,
oh yeah, they're done with the Nubian grandmas. My grandma makes this, my mom makes this. There's so many people in the Nubian community who make it. We have a Nubian culture center in Bombo where you can find one and do it. You can even be customized with your name or your husband's name. Depends on what color you want and what color patterns is. So if you need to order, you can go through me. My number will be dropped at the bottom of this video.
Even on the screen right now.
Oh, on the screen right now, yes. And yeah, you can place an order, and it can take you roughly 4 to 6 weeks for you to get yours done. They usually sell them in a pair, but if you don't want a pair, if you only want a kuta, you can get it. But our tabaga is very important because we use this as a serving platter for dry foods for our guests.
Oh, okay. So let us dive into this.
Have you washed your hand?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so open your kuta and eat with your nose first. You don't smell the kuta itself. You smell the food. So this is our sauce, our bamia, mulabia to one. We're going to eat it with chapati. Yeah, and then we are accompanying it. Our side dish is going to be chili. So we have 2 homemade chili. Every Nubian home, every Nubian girl knows how to prepare chili. So this was made by me.
Wow.
Yeah, so you cook your own chili. So these are 2 types of chili. This one has lemon. This one is just mango, and this is lemon and carrot. This is mango and chili.
Mango
only.
and chili.
Yes, mango.
Okay.
So you will test each. I know you eat chili, so you can start. Serve yourself. You're my guest, so you go first. So you said you don't like the taste of okra. I want you to test the Nubian okra, and then you let me know if you like the taste of the Nubian way of making okra.
Let me get more soup. So can you come out?
Okay. Then you add chili. So it's up to you on which one you want, which chili you want.
Mango and
then the other one is lime and carrots.
I love the smell of it. Let me just mix it.
Oh yeah, mix it. Hope it won't be too much for you.
It's like one flavor.
Okay. So this is how I eat my chili, a lot.
So as you watch, you can be part of this spiritually, because physically they can't be here.
Definitely.
So on your behalf, we're going to enjoy this.
Oh yes. So yeah, grab a chapati and soak it into your sauce. I want you to grab an okra and eat it. And you just test it and let me know. Why aren't you speaking?
It is not that slimy. The way I expected it to be.
And the taste?
Oh God. You know, every time I taste your food, I get challenged.
Why? Or you get impressed?
I think the feelings are so mixed up. Even the words are so mixed up.
So yeah, that is how we make Nubian chapati and okra, mulabia sauce.
Wow. You know, when you try foods from different societies, you are tempted to marry from that society if the food is so good. So, let me control myself. Let me behave. But I love
yummy.
this. Oh, please tell our family watching this video how can they reach out to you? Do you have other social medias?
Okay,
Maybe?
yeah. So I've started a new series of sharing recipes, Nubian recipes, or any other recipe with a twist of Nubian touch on my TikTok. My TikTok is at Naima Isa.
Yeah.
So go follow.
We're going to share the link in
Yeah.
the description box of this very video. The link is going to be there.
And hopefully very soon I will be dropping my YouTube channel where I'll be sharing more of different recipes with a Nubian twist. So if you want to learn more about the Nubian way of cooking food, that is my way of showing love from me to you, whoever is watching, so that you can borrow that and share that love with your family.
Yeah, when you open your channel, we'll come and do a collabo, because I would love
Definitely.
the family to also get into to get to learn more about these recipes, the Nubian side of the food.
We will discuss business.
Yes.
As for those who have watched, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned how to make this, and I hope I have inspired you to try it. From the Nubian community, which is my house, to the Ganda community, which is Nicholas's house,
Me, I'm so
and
mixed
everyone out there.
I'm so mixed up.
Yeah, and his mixed up community. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have learned a thing or two about the Nubian culture, the Nubian people, and more specifically, our food. So yeah, enjoy spiritually, or enjoy when you cook it.
So if you don't try, you don't eat okra, I think this can introduce you to loving it step by step, step by step. This is my first time I'm enjoying a dish which has okra.
Really? Yeah, you will. And this slaps, you know, they say when the food is nice, it slaps. It slaps well with gurusa. It slaps well with luguma, which is posho. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Please join us spiritually. Join us in the comment section, share your thoughts. From the start until now, what have you learned? What could you share to your friends and family? Would you love to try out Nubian food? She's the right person for that.
Yeah, just call me up. I will be there. Okay, this is too good. I think we are making the people jealous, so we can just say thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Bye for now. This is so good. So
Food
good.
is nice with chili. It's to die for.
Oh.
So your friend was saying the other sauce was nice, eh? Let
So
them try this
I
one.
should pack something. That's why I had to carry a big container.
Okay.
You know, they ate all the chapati. You call them chapatis?
Gurusa.
The gulusa. I didn't even taste it again.
Are you sure? Now gurusa with this. Oh my God. You will die.